Hi there. Are you ready to learn about yoga for social and emotional learning? In this session, we will discuss the components of yoga, discuss how we can explore self-awareness and self-management within a yoga practice, and then we will practice yoga. So before we begin, just know since this is pre-recorded, I will be hanging out in the comments section. Feel free to ask a question at any time throughout the session, and I'll be on the other end. Also in the comments, I will have a link to today's yoga practice so that if you would like to use it in the future, you certainly may. All right, let's begin. So what comes to mind when you think of yoga? Let's take a moment, see what pops up for yourself. So I initially came to yoga as an athlete, thinking, wow, this feels great. This is something that I should do on a rest day, right? Another way I can take care of my body for performance sake. A few years went by and I came back to yoga, and this time it was because I was experiencing back pain, right? I aged a few years in between. So I could have back pain, walk into a yoga session, and walk out without pain. So for a while, I practiced yoga for that reason. Then another few years go by and I was experiencing some anxiety. And so then I went back to yoga again. And it was a place where I could just step out of my head, right? Stop all the swirling thoughts and just be still. So people have all sorts of thoughts and feelings about what yoga is, and it's many things to many people. So you have a range from the athlete who wants to take care of their body all the way to someone who's working on practicing mindfulness and meditation. And so yoga is all those things, all of the in-between. It can be whatever you need it to be or whatever you're willing to let it be for you. Since people are looking to get different things out of yoga, it's important to note that there are several different styles of yoga. One would be vinyasa, also known as flow. So for every pose, you have a breath. So maybe you inhale into a pose and exhale out of it and move into another pose. It's very athletic. It's very movement, breath oriented. Also would be hatha yoga. Hatha is a bit more slow paced. It's great for beginners. You would move into a pose and take 3 breaths or more within that pose before you'd move to the next pose. Slower than that is yin yoga. So in yin yoga, it's very slow, seated. You stay in a pose for 2 to 5 minutes, which can be very contemplative, meditative, right? So if you're in a moment of difficulty or discomfort, right, it's using your mind to relax into that moment. Another one would be Ashtanga. Ashtanga, also very athletic. It takes about 90 minutes to complete. It is the same sequence every single time and is very challenging. So these are just a few styles, and it's important to recognize that not only is yoga many things to many people, and there are several styles of yoga, but within all these styles, there are 3 components to each yoga practice. Let's begin with the word yoga. The translation means to yoke or unite. And what are we uniting? The body, breath, and mind. Those are our 3 components of a yoga practice. Let's begin with body. So earlier I'd asked you, what comes to mind when you think of yoga? For many people, we think of the body first because we simply think of the poses. And so within that, within the body, right, obvious benefits would be flexibility, because we're lengthening the muscles, we're increasing range of motion, which is going to decrease our risk for injury in everyday life. Okay, we're going to gain strength. And now I suppose some of you are saying strength and yoga. But honestly, if you take it back to a vinyasa style, or even there's power yoga, something I didn't mention. In power yoga, you might do 30 sun salutations in a single practice. And so within a sun salutation, you would have a squat. You're going to forward fold, reverse push up from plank position, inhale up dog, exhale down dog, right? Make your way back up. And so you're going to have a squat and a push up over 30 times. And that's going to add up, right? You can gain strength from yoga. Can be done. Also with the body, some people receive pain relief. And so with a regular yoga practice, we can strengthen joints for decreased pain. We can stretch muscles for tension relief. And so people also find that when working with the body. So there's body. Let's get into breath. Coming at you with a bit of health class here. So we have the autonomic nervous system. It takes care of all the functions of our body that we don't have to think about. Heart rate, breath, digestion, but we're talking about breath. So branches of the autonomic nervous system are sympathetic and parasympathetic. So sympathetic, we have the fight, flight, freeze. Parasympathetic is the rest and digest. What's cool is our body does these functions without us having to think about it, but we can also override them. If we slow our breath, that's going to decrease our heart rate, in turn decreasing our blood pressure. So we can walk into a yoga session anxious or monkey mind, and if we can slow our breath, we can hit that override button, which is telling our body, hey, we're safe here. So we're uniting the breath with the body. Let's add the mind. The purpose of yoga is to move the body in order to quiet the mind. So if you take part in a yoga session from a yoga studio, whether that be in studio or at home, there will likely be a 3 to 10 minute time span at the end of that practice for stillness, meditation. And now this is where we get to the good part, right? Why did you come here? We're looking for yoga for self-awareness and self-management. Here's where we move into that. When we look at the general high school PE standards, we have under standard 4, exhibits responsible personal and social behavior that respects self and others, as well as employs effective self-management skills. Now, the title of this course was Yoga for Social and Emotional Learning, and there are 5 components of social and emotional learning: self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, responsible decision-making, and relationship skills. But for the purpose of this session, we're going to focus on self-management and self-awareness because that's what is listed under Standard 4. So let's get into a definition of self-management. Self-management is managing emotions and behaviors to achieve one's goals. Managing emotions and behaviors to achieve one's goals. While the definition for self-awareness is recognizes one's emotions and values as well as one's strengths and challenges. Recognizes one's emotions and values as well as one's strengths and challenges. Have you ever witnessed a student who has trouble with self-management and they aren't self-aware enough to know that they have an issue? Now, this session and yoga practice is geared towards high school students. But an easy way to think about this is to think back to an elementary school student, one in particular who is having a difficult time sitting in his desk, right? Some kids need to play on the playground before they can sit in a desk, right? And they need recess before they can come back and sit in a desk. And they need gym class before they can sit in a desk again. And so we still have those movement needs moving into middle school, high school, and even in adulthood. We still need to move. In yoga, we move in order to then be able to be still in a relaxed state. So there's a purpose with this within not only the practice, but can we take that movement to be still from the practice with us when we leave the practice and take that into everyday life? Adding to that, let's briefly mention the body again. There are specific purposes to some poses. There are energizing poses, calming poses, everything in between. So an energizing pose would be anything that opens up the front body. And in our practice today, we do a modified bridge, which is meant to be energizing. In the past, if I didn't get enough sleep at night, right, and I'm in my classroom alone and nobody's looking, and have a exercise ball, I'd lean down on the exercise ball, lean back on it, extend my arms, and do a supported bridge, and I would breathe in that pose for a minute or two. And once I'd get up out of that, I'd feel awesome, awake, alert, okay, energized. Now on the opposite of that, an example of a calming pose would be child's pose, which we also do in today's practice. So child's pose is the pose where you are on your knees on the mat and you are leaned over onto the ground. And in doing that, you're taking away the stimuli around you. So in my yoga teacher training, I was taught if you are about to begin class and you're having a hard time getting started because people are chatting back and forth, one thing you can do to automatically quiet people is to put them into child's pose. And so they have their forehead on the mat and you've taken away the surroundings. Now that we're in a calming pose, let's add the breath. Okay, let's slow it down, creating that autonomic nervous system hack or override. Now we're really slowing things down. But wait, there's more. Let's add a reflective statement or a quote that causes them to think. How are they feeling? How are they handling difficulties? When we add all these things together, giving the students the tools of yoga, we're teaching self-management and self-awareness. To wrap things up, we've covered the 3 components of yoga: body, breath, and mind, and how we can address self-management and self-awareness within a yoga practice. Before we begin our practice, just a reminder that a yoga mat is not needed to do yoga. And once again, there will be a link to this practice in the comments if you would like to use this session in the future. Also, there will be time for questions after this practice, but feel free to ask during the practice if you like. So without further ado, if you would like, please join me in a yoga practice. Let's begin our practice. Go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seated position. Maybe you wiggle to find it. Relax the shoulders, nice and tall spine. Start with a simple awareness, just noticing where your body connects with the ground. We'll take 3 deep breaths together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. feel comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. If not, just take a soft forward gaze. Bring to mind something you like about yourself, something you are proud about, any of the above. Just bringing that moment into your mind. Forward with that thought. Go ahead and flutter the eyes open if they were closed. And we'll inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, twist to the right. Left hand, right knee. Right hand behind you, gaze over the right shoulder. Release back to center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand, left knee. Left hand behind you, gaze over the left shoulder. Release. 2 more each side. So we'll inhale, exhale to the right. Gaze over the shoulder, release, inhale, to the left. Release, inhale, exhale to the right. Release, last one, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. And release back to center. Go ahead and relax the shoulders. Okay, we'll inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Breathe easy here. Inhale, back up to center. Chin to the sky. Breathing easy. Release back to center. Let's take it to the side. Turn to your right. Release. Turn to the left. Release. And let's just do a few neck circles. So we'll start clockwise. There's 1. And 2, 1 more. 3, reverse. 1. 2. And 3. Back to neutral. Let's shift the weight forward and come to hands and knees, flat back. This is tabletop. So we have wrists under elbows, under shoulders, knees are under the hips. Okay. And we'll inhale, left arm, right leg. Bring the elbow and knee to meet and put it back down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, bring them to meet and put them back down. Activate the core a bit. All right, let's bring those knees wider than hips, big toes touch, sink the hips back, reach forward into child's pose. Rest the forehead on the mat or the floor. Maybe you rock your forehead side to side. And we'll come on up, back into that tabletop. Tuck the toes, and we'll push the hips up. Push back for down dog, and we will walk the feet out. Okay. First one, we might feel a bit tight. right. Step the right foot forward. Inhale up. Drop those left toes out to the long facing side of the mat. Right knee over right ankle. Arms are up. Warrior two. Breathing easy. We'll inhale, right arm high, left arm, left leg. And exhale, bring that right hand inside the right foot. Left arm reaches for the sky. Bring that left arm forward. Frame that right foot. Step that right foot back. We're in plank. And we will just walk the feet forward. Inhale for a half lift. Hands on the shins, back is flat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, bring it down. Hands down, feet back. Come into down dog. And maybe you step it out again. You've got chest shining towards the thighs. And this time we'll step the left foot forward. I'll switch sides so you can see. Okay. Right toes face alongside of the mat. Left knee over left ankle. Arms are up. For warrior two. We are strong. Inhale. Left arm high. Right arm, right leg. Bring it on down. Left hand inside left foot. Right arm reaches high. Bring those arms forward. Frame that left foot. Step that left foot back. Let's drop the knees. Okay? Bring them wide again. Big toes touch. And we'll sink the hips back for child's pose. So the head can rest on the mat, or if that's too much, we can always bring forehead to stacked fists. Here is great too. Taking a moment to breathe. And we'll come on up out of that. Back into our tabletop. Push the hips up. Tuck the toes, push the hips up. And we'll step the right foot forward. Okay. This time we'll bring the distance between the legs a little closer, bringing it in. And then we'll be about a foot width apart. Okay, so we're here. We'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. This time grabbing the elbows, relaxing the head and the neck, letting them hang. Maybe you shake your head no. Maybe you nod yes. Okay. From here, we're going to shift that weight into the right foot, okay? Into the right leg. Now you can bring the fingertips down, okay? Or you can bring them back. Extend the left leg for airplane. How's your body handling the challenge? Okay. When tough situations arise, okay, we can stop the chatter of the mind, focus on the breath. Who's had enough? Let's release. Come on up. Walk the feet out. From here, we can do kickstand, okay? Or bring that left sole of the foot to the right calf. And we'll bring hands heart center for a tree. Another balancing pose. Focusing on the breath. If you would like, go ahead and extend the arms, the branches of your tree. If you sway, no big deal. Tree sway in the wind, right? Go ahead and release. Walk it out. Make sure that right arch is feeling it. Okay. Let's release hands down to the side, palms facing forward. Bringing the shoulder blades down the back for mountain pose. We'll just rest here for a moment. Maybe coming back to that positive thought, okay, that we brought to mind at the beginning of the session. Quieting the inner critic. Big inhale and exhale. One more. Big inhale and exhale. Right, let's do the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, so we have a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. From here, this time we will step the right foot back. Our left foot will be out in front. And we want to take that little bit of a wider stance, short distance, wider width, okay? Legs are straight. And we're going to grab the elbows, relax the head and the neck. Maybe shake the head no, nod the head yes. Shift that weight into the left leg, okay? And now fingertips can come down for balance, or they can come back behind you. Extend the right leg long. Once again, coming to that breath, difficult moment. I've had enough. Let's go ahead and release, okay? And maybe you walk the feet out. All right. Bringing the right foot to left ankle, or right sole of the foot to the left calf. Hands at heart center. Finding a point to focus on that does not move. If we're doing this with other people, if we watch other people move, then we wiggle and move, okay? It's just finding a point of focus. If you feel so inclined, extend the arms, branches of your tree. Open up the chest. Lift if you can. And release. Walk the feet out. All right. So we'll inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Just our short rest again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands, heart center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, hands down. Okay. Feet back. Let's drop the knees. And we'll swing the legs around. Bringing them out in front of us. Soles of the feet are planted. Knees are bent. Okay. We'll do a 5-second abs. Arms are out in front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come down. And we'll take the feet wide, and then we'll windshield wiper the knees. Left and right, back and forth. Nice and easy. Back up to center. Walk the feet in just a bit. And we'll cross right ankle to left knee. And then we'll take that right hand through the center, left hand behind the left leg. And we'll grab and pull towards us. Here to thank ourselves for being good to ourselves today and in this moment. Go ahead and release. Plant the right foot. Lift. Left ankle, right knee. Left hand comes through. Right hand behind the right leg. Pull towards you gently. Stretch in the hip. And release. Bring both knees in at the same time. Squeeze the knees to the chest. Rock side to side. Massage the spine. Release the left leg long. Bring the right knee to the left body. Extend the arms like they're cactus arms. If you feel like you would like to, go ahead and gaze over the right shoulder for a full spinal twist. To center. Squeeze both knees into the chest again. Okay. This time, extend the right leg long. Okay. Bring the left knee to the right side of the body. Arms are cactus arms. Gaze over the left shoulder. Aware of them, but not judging. the center. Squeeze both knees in one last time. All right. From here, extend the legs, and you can relax and chill here. Or if you'd like, we'll do one last move. We'll bring those soles of the feet towards the bottom. And hands are at your sides. Go ahead and press and squeeze the glutes, extending the hips, lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Hands can stay here. Maybe you bring them underneath. Okay. We're here for just a moment longer. Coming back to the breath. Go ahead and release. Okay. And then extend the legs long. Arms at your side, hands, palms facing up. We'll take a moment here just to relax. This is Shavasana or corpse pose. Because we've worked moving our bodies so we could quiet our mind. And so in this moment, just let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Maybe it's a recurring thought or memory. Whatever it is, just letting it go. To the breath, the mind starts to wander. Just focus on the inhale and the exhale. Only happens in the present moment. Past has already happened. The future is just energy and tension. In this moment, wiggle the fingers and toes. Flutter the eyes open if you had them closed. Bend the knees, planting the soles of the feet. Roll to the side. And come on up into sitting. Take 3 breaths together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Hope you are able to move forward with self-awareness and kindness for yourself Thank you for practicing yoga with me today. The light and the good in me honors and acknowledges the light and the good in you. Namaste.